An endangered pony from Sweden has found a champion in Kentucky. We'll have those stories and paw pals coming right up on Kentucky Life. The Equus Survival Trust is an organization dedicated to preserving and promoting the more than 30 breeds of horses worldwide that are considered endangered. Now, many of these breeds are the foundation stock of today's horses. They're also a living link to the history of ancient civilizations. It'll take a lot of hard work to ensure that these endangered breeds survive. Here in Kentucky, one woman has dedicated much of her life to saving and celebrating a stocky little forest pony from Sweden known as the Gotland.
They're not just a rare breed relic. They're useful and fun and kind. They are an ancient breed. I cannot even tell you how old they are. Their history and legend is mixed with czars and Vikings and warrior kings. The Gotlands originate on the island of Gotland off the coast of Sweden. It's a very small island and amazingly very similar to Kentucky. They ran wild there for centuries when they were threatened for use as meat animals, as a lot of ponies were at the time. The Swedish government allocated a couple hundred acres where they now have a sanctuary. And they still run wild, but they're a semi-managed herd. They were imported, interestingly, the year I was born, and they went out west to Montana, and Oklahoma was where they were centered originally. Their numbers grew into the hundreds, and one woman held the registry and had most of the ponies, and she ran a handicapped riding program centered around the Gotland Ponies. But she did most of it herself. And when she died, her boys weren't interested in them, and the registry disappeared, and the entire breed fell apart. A couple months after we moved here, there came up the sale of the last remaining breeding herd of Gotlands on the continent, which was 8 at the time, and that turned out to be the herd I bought. 1980 was when they first arrived. It's funny, I bought the ponies sight unseen. I had seen photographs. I had to look in a book to find out even what they looked like. And when they arrived, there were 7 or 8 basically brown ponies that didn't look like anything special. A lot of them were ornery because they had been thrown around and abused. And I kind of said to myself, what did I get myself into? And within a year after they had the babies and I started raising the babies, I realized that this was the most intelligent, sweetest, kindest pony I had ever met. Equine of any sort, not just ponies, because ponies are known to be notoriously mean. And these guys were just the opposite. I call them the anti-pony because they never bite or kick. They're kind to children. You can literally line kids up from one end to the other, nose to tail, and these ponies will never, ever hurt a child. And so it's, in a word, it's their disposition. That's what makes them extremely special. They're just sweet and kind and willing and adventurous and talented. Here are my daughter Gina Bebensee and pony Kokovoko Natalie. Natalie is about a 6-year-old Gotland mare. You can tell they're an ancient breed because of their lack of refinement. They have rather primitive head. Very typical is the very large, for lack of a better word, frog eye. Very predominant, very kind, gentle eye. They have a light, smooth leg, very strong joints, clean knees and fetlocks. The hooves are extremely strong and tough, and pretty much a normal back length, nicely sloping shoulder. The slope of their shoulder is very typical with hunter ponies, good for jumping. They have nice, powerful rear ends. I don't know if you can see it, but she has a dorsal stripe down her back, and she also has just very faint leg barring on her hock, which is typical of primitive horses. Color-wise, they are all solid colors. I think the Swedes have 5 or 6 different descriptions of their brown color. So we don't have the language to describe them like they do. But, and there are also palominos and cremellos, but no white. I like to explain the importance of their rare breed status by saying they haven't been messed up by man yet. They're used for harness racing ponies in Sweden, and not just in Gotland, but all over Sweden. And they have bred theirs more toward the harness racing standard and are now looking back at ours as examples of pony genetics they don't have anymore. And so that's a really neat thing for the Gotland breeders of America, because we have, in a sense, saved a genetic pool that's been lost by its home country. So it brings in the whole value of breed stewardship. Their versatility springs from their anatomy. They're very well put together. They're very sure-footed. They're speedy little things, and they love to trot. Once they get in that gait, they can just go all day long. They absolutely love the challenge. Anything where they know what their job is and they're going to do it. They like to have fun. Combined driving is the driving counterpart of 3-day eventing. So you have the 3 phases. It's an all-around test of both the horses and drivers' ability. I found the ponies were so well suited for it. They just absolutely love it. It's a great way to show off the ponies. It's great fun. I think that if I can show enough people how wonderful these ponies are, the rest will take care of itself. I would almost consider my mission accomplished just in bringing the numbers from 8 to nearly 200. I had no goals to start with the ponies. It was just that I wanted to raise a rare breed to, help save something. And then when the ponies came into my life, they just totally captivated me. And now it's just a passion. There's no other explanation for it. I love the ponies dearly, and I have spent the last 20 years dedicated almost solely to preserving and promoting the breed. It's just something that's, in my opinion, so worth dedicating your life to. And it's been a whole lot of fun. I can't imagine doing anything else.
As further proof of the Gotland Pony's willingness to do just about anything for fun, Leslie told us about a Gotland who regularly plays soccer with the little boy he belongs to. We discovered a hobby that's developed out of new technology, a young musician dedicated to old music, and an ancient pony from Sweden rescued by a modern-day Kentuckian. We find those kind of stories every week right here on Kentucky Life. We hope you'll join us next time.